Hello, welcome back to Tiny Artist TV. For today's video, we're going to be continuing the 115 character series, but I'm going to be using the next few characters to show you all how to incorporate references into your character and costume design. And this is something I'm really big on. I love doing really intricate details, and I'm sure you've noticed as you've been watching my videos, not even just in this series, just in general, when I'm creating characters, I love all the little things that tell a story, that can just tell you about the character without having to info vomit about the particular character, something that can tell a story without having to say anything. So this set of characters, I'm going to do 5 characters for this particular prompt, and I'm going to be doing the characters based on antiques, because there's some really interesting antiques and glassware and things like that, and also incorporating different textures to again show you how to integrate references into your character design without it having to be a one-to-one translation. So let's go ahead and roll up our colors for these characters. And I think I'm going to do this in 2 parts. So one video will have 3 characters, and then I'll do another video from the same set with the last 2 characters, just so that the video isn't super long. And of course, we are back to our wall of color here. And as you can see, we've got a few more green slots filled, but there's still quite a few white slots on here. So let me pull up my randomizer. We're going to switch this out to 115 again. So again, I'm going to be doing 5 characters for this particular set of characters, still designing them however I want to. The only stipulation is that there's going to be antiques incorporated into the character design somewhere. So number 56. Berry Whip. Okay. This one's probably going to end up being glassware. This is a very light color palette. We're going to mark these in, let's do blue. Oh, not that dark. That's better. Next one. Number 102. White chocolate. Ooh. This is very Dark Souls armor set. I'm loving it. And the antiques I'm picking are going to be based on the colors in this palette, or the things I'm looking for will be based on colors in the palette, just so that I'm not having to repurpose too much. But I might do one where it's based on more of the shape than the color, so we'll see. We'll get there when we get there. Number 3 is going to be number 4, which is Strawberry Coulis. That is... where's the blue? There's the blue. Okay. Number 4 is number 78. Tafiti. Okay. Didn't mark it. I'm too eager to get in and get started again. And the last one is number 34. I feel like we've done that one, but nope. Here it is, Wildberry, number 34. I know why this sounds familiar, because yet again, not unlike Cozy Sweater, I use this color palette for my Orktober Halloween videos, and I remember this one was like a spooky cowboy or something. Obviously, if there's armor involved, we're not really doing a cowboy, but I don't know, what would a medieval cowboy look like? Let's find out what our characters end up looking like. Now, I will admit, the first character here is a very one-to-one interpretation of the items. However, what helped me put this particular armor set together, when I was looking for my pieces of inspiration, I wasn't just looking for particular colors, I was also just looking for things that just really stood out to me, that had very strong form. Like the lampshade that I picked has, that just immediately translated to something that could be turned into a collar piece, possibly a skirt as well. As you can see in the sketch here, it ends up being both. I really like the shape of this lamp, and the little dangly tassels gave me an excuse to do more dangly things. And the alabaster vase, I had pulled that as an inspiration partially for color but also for texture. I kind of loosely translate that into the design on the tights. I end up doing kind of like a peppermint stripe on the tights with the cream colors, and then that very hot pink raspberry color. The bubble vase ends up being a chest piece, and the pants end up just being blue, but the shape was inspired by the shape of the bubble vase as well. And then finally you have the pair of vases. I saw those and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, but I knew I wanted to have those in my design. Again, because of the color, but also really because of those beautiful curly Q shapes. And so you see here, I've split it in half, and I use one half on the sword, and then the other half I use to decorate the boots. And then I also bring the blue bubble glass down into the shoes as well, and do a bubble glass tip on the shoe. The next step for this particular character is the initial color pass, because I do have some things here that aren't quite matching up with what I have in my color palette, so I kind of just lay some colors down to make sure that everything is flowing properly. And I had the idea that I was going to have to do a couple of color passes, but I end up pretty much liking where everything is once I lay it down. Of course, I have to change the blue piping on the lamp to red piping since I don't really have that color in my initial color palette. I do fudge the palette just a little bit and pull that dark blue from the bottom of the glass, but I only use it in that one spot to imitate my inspiration. And so I change the blue piping that's on the lamp to red, and everything else is pretty much an interpretation, whereas like all of the cream or the alabaster in the vases ends up becoming that sort of peachy and the cream colors in my palette. As usual, I've cleaned things up before I really go into any further details. I do keep a copy of the color layer just so I can have my sort of proof of where I want to lay things out, because I basically start from scratch after I put down my initial color test, and from here on it's just getting into the details, getting into visualizing how to flesh out the different textures of things between metal and cloth and translucent material and etc, etc. I don't know if I want to do a voiceover for the rest of this, because it really is just me rendering out the different parts, and I don't think you guys need an explanation of that. Yeah, so here, enjoy this beautiful classical music while the drawing gets rendered out. I will make one quick additional note. Because of how long this drawing ended up taking me, and even after editing and compressing the footage and cutting out as much as I possibly could, this video is still pushing about 15 minutes. So instead of doing 3 characters and 2 characters, I think it's best if I just do each armor set as its own video, and that way I'm not pressured to cut out any details, because I don't know why, I just really think this set is best as fully rendered pieces versus the quick sketches that I have been doing for the character creation videos. This is just something that I've really been looking forward to. I've had this idea for a couple of weeks now since I've started the character creation challenge, and I've been seeing a lot of the posts on Twitter where like people will take different antiques and jewelry and just these really cool pieces, and something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So I think I will give each piece the justice of having its own video. And yeah, instead of doing a set of 3 and a set of 2, just have each of them be their own video. And that way you can just pick your favorite and watch it and then skip out on the other ones. So yeah, I'll stop talking now. Hi, it's me again. It's the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed another installation of the 115 character creation challenge. Armor set 1 out of 5, and the color palette name is Berry Whip. Yeah, I really enjoyed creating this kind of light, fluffy character with hard, clunky glass and metal pieces. But yeah, so that is the end of today's video. I will see you guys in the next one, and until then, have a weird day.